When you… when you don't touch the food, you do not know what it is. If food is not good enough to be touched, I don't know how it's good enough to be eaten. You can… the cleanliness of your hands is entirely in your hands. The cleanliness of the fork is not entirely in your hands.
This is true.
And nobody else but you have used these hands. So, there is an assurance as to how clean or not clean it is right now. The fork, you do not know who's used it, how they've used it, for what they used it. And all they have to do is wipe it with a tissue and give it to you and it looks pretty clean. Above all, you don't feel the food. The first thing that's been taught to us is, if food appears in front of you, to hold your hands upon the food for a few moments, just to feel how the food is. If something appears on my plate, if I just feel this, I know what to eat and what not to eat, what I should not eat. I don't taste it and then reject it, I just don't eat. Because my hands are the first level, not tasting in the sense the tongue tastes, but knowing the food. First thing is knowing the food. You want to know a person, you guys go and shake their hands. I'm usually avoiding that, but but the food that's going to become a part of you, first thing is your hands. Even if you physically don't touch it, just being conscious and being there, it clearly tells you how the food will behave within you. Whether this particular food on this particular day, should it go into you or not, because every day your body is not the same thing. Every day, every moment it's different. If you feel the food, you just know whether this food has to go into you on this day or not. If that much awareness is brought in, we don't have to go on telling people what they should eat. Every meal they must decide what they should eat in that meal. There is no one prescription that this is what you should eat for your life. That will feel too claustrophobic, that only this I can eat.
Your selection of food and consumption of food also must happen consciously. More than what you eat, how you eat it is also equally important. When I say how you eat it, these are all live substances. Every one of them had a life of their own, whether it's a plant, animal, vegetable, every one of them had a life of their own. Now in some way, you're making food out of it, you must consume it with utmost gratitude. If you approach it with a certain sense of gratitude and reverence towards the food that you eat, when I say reverence, it may feel like too much for you, but I'm asking you, let's say we put you in a room and you had nothing to eat for 5 days. If God appears in front of you, what will you ask for? Food? So that's how important it is. You must understand the food on your plate is not just a substance, it is not a material, it is not a commodity, it is life. It is the life-making material for you. So you must treat it as such. Right now, when it's on the plate, when it's out there, it has no value, but the moment you consume it and it becomes your flesh and blood, now suddenly it's of immense value. Why do we live like this? It's very important, when it comes on your plate itself, you must treat it as a part of yourself. With great reverence, you must consume. Just the way you consume it, if you change that, food will behave very differently within you. This is what consciousness means. If people say your consciousness has no impact on your life, only chemical structures have impact, I'm very sorry for them, because that's not how life works. Human consciousness has a deep and profound impact on everything that we touch, especially the food that we are making another life as a part of ourselves. When we're doing such an act, it's very, very important we treat it with utmost gratitude and reverence.
The food that you eat, generally for people who are on the yogic path, you know what they say? You should eat only 24 morsels. I'm not saying this to everybody. And if you are noticing that you're tending to fall asleep through the day, you eat only 24 morsels of food, that is 24 mouthfuls.
Why 24? I will not go into that number business now, but there is a science behind it. You only eat 24 mouthfuls. Mouthful does not mean So essentially, your alertness depends on how keenly you manage your energies. And this is crucial if you want to meditate. Not doing 15-minute shunya. If you want to become meditative in your life process, this alertness not of the mind alone, alertness of your energy, that your energy is alert. To keep it in an alert state is why you're doing the sadhana. So to assist it, you eat only 24 morsels. In the Indian way of looking at time, there is something called as a nimisha, which has something to do with 24. That's why you eat 24. You eat 24 and still you must take the same time that somebody who's eating a full meal, whoever eats maximum in the ashram, just see their plate till they get up. You must be sitting right there. Not simply sitting, you must chew. To every mouthful, you choose 24 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, chew it 24 times. Now you will see, you will take more time than anybody else, but your food is pre-digested in your mouth before it goes in. It will not cause dullness. If you chew your food sufficiently, you will see food will not cause dullness if it is masticated in the mouth region. Chew it well. If you chew it well, the digestive process, 1.5, 2 hours you'll be hungry, and that's a way to stay. Hunger does not mean you have to… If stomach is empty, does not mean you have to put food, you just have to put water. And you will stay alert, you will be very energetic, you will not lose any weight because your system will learn to use the food that you've eaten well rather than simply wasting it. It's both economically and ecologically very good for the world and very good for your health. Probably you'll never fall sick if you eat like that. So 24 morsels of food, you must chew 24 times. Each morsel fully must become like paste before you eat it.